Last month I was in a store, testing fragrances like I always do. I sprayed one on my wrist, and my brain did that thing where it goes quiet. It smelled rich, warm, and clean at the same time. Then I looked down at the shelf tag, $395. I laughed because I knew what was coming. I was going to walk away, think about it all week, and still want it. But here is the scary part. I did not want the bottle. I wanted the feeling that smell gave me. Therefore, I was about to pay $395 for a feeling. So I went home and tried something different. I ordered a cologne people kept talking about. When it arrived, I tested it properly. And at hour 1, I stared at my wrist and said, "Wait, this is basically it." But most people never get to that moment. They try one cologne, test it wrong, get disappointed, and then say clones are trash. Therefore, the real problem is not, do clones work? The real problem is knowing how to buy and test them so you do not waste money. So this is the last clone fragrance guide you will ever need. I'm going to show you what clones really are, how to avoid fake junk, how to test fast, and how to choose the right one for your life. But first, answer this in the comments. Would you rather smell 95% the same for $35 or 100% the same for $350? Pick one. Most people hear clone and picture a fake bottle that copies the original name and packaging. But that is not a clone. That is a copycat. Therefore, that is the stuff that can smell weird, last 30 minutes, and make your skin regret it. A real clone brand has its own name and its own bottle. It is not pretending to be the original. It is trying to match the smell style. Here is the safety rule that saves you. If it looks like it is trying to be the original bottle, skip it. If it is doing its own branding, you are usually in the safe lane. Now, here is the first open loop. If clones can get so close, why do people still buy originals? A lot of people think the answer is quality, but it is mostly emotion, and I will prove it in a minute. First, you need to understand how clones are made. Most clone brands do not have the original formula. Therefore, they rebuild the scent by smelling the original and mixing their own version until it hits the same vibe. But because they are rebuilding, the opening can be a little different. Therefore, judging in the first 10 seconds is the biggest mistake people make. So, use this simple test. 1 spray on skin, 1 spray on a shirt. Smell it at minute 1, minute 10, and hour 1. But do not decide at minute 1. Therefore, hour 1 is the truth. Now let us talk about buying, because this is where people lose money. People say, I buy clones to save money, but then they buy 10 bottles at $30 each. Therefore, they still spent $300 and still do not have 1 scent they truly love. So if you are new, you need the 1 bottle rule. Buy 1 clone at a time. Wear it for a full week. But do not panic buy more bottles because the internet says you should. Therefore, you learn your taste first. Most people shop clones by searching closest clone to this expensive scent. But closeness does not matter if it does not fit your life. Therefore, you pick the job first. Everyday clean, office safe, date night, winter cozy, party loud. Because a winter beast can feel sickly in summer heat, and a party scent can feel rude in an office. Therefore, job first, always. Then pick the vibe. If you like citrus soap, clean laundry, and shower gel, you are probably a clean type. If you like vanilla, warm sugar, and dessert smells, you are probably a sweet type. If you like pepper, woods, and darker spice, you are probably a spicy type. Comment 1 word right now: clean, sweet, or spicy. Now we close that open loop. Why do people still buy originals? Because they are paying for the feeling, the fancy bottle, the brand story, the status. But in the air, most people cannot tell. Therefore, if your goal is to smell expensive and get compliments, clones can do the job. Now performance, because everyone cares about this. People want projection and longevity, but loud is not always good. A fragrance can shout for 20 minutes and then disappear. Therefore, it is not a beast, it is a tease. And a fragrance can sit closer but last all day. That is usually more useful in real life. But a lot of people think their scent vanished when it did not. Therefore, here is the next open loop. Why does it feel gone to you, but other people can still smell it? Your nose gets used to a smell fast. You go nose blind, but you think it is gone, so you spray more. Therefore, you become the guy who walks into a room like a cloud and does not even realize it. So if you want to check longevity, do this. Spray your shirt, then check it from a distance after an hour. Do not sniff your wrist every minute. Therefore, you avoid going nose blind, and you avoid overspraying. Now here are 3 simple habits that make most clones perform better. Moisturize your skin, because dry skin eats fragrance. Do not spray right after a hot shower, because your skin dries out fast. And do not rub your wrists together. Therefore, the scent stays smoother and lasts longer. Now the blunt truth. If you smell bad underneath, no fragrance can save you. People think cologne is step 1, but it is step 4. Therefore, clean clothes, deodorant, and a clean body come first. If your shirt holds old sweat smell, the fragrance sticks to that smell and mixes with it, but then you blame the cologne. Therefore, fix the base and the cologne suddenly gets better. Now the red flags. Because not everything is a safe buy. If a bottle is copying the original bottle design, that is not a normal clone move, but that is a fake move. Therefore, skip it. Also watch reviews. One bad review is normal, but lots of people saying, "last 30 minutes" is a warning. Therefore, do not let a cheap price trick you. Now we make the whole thing easy. You only need 3 rolls in your collection. One daily clean scent you can wear anywhere. One night scent that is warmer and more confident. One wow scent for when you want attention. But if you do that, you stop panic buying random bottles. Therefore, you save money and actually use what you own. Now here's the last comment question. If someone asked what you are wearing, would you tell them it is a clone? Yes or no? Be honest. And here is your final checklist before you buy any clone. Pick the job. Pick the vibe. Make sure it is not copying the original bottle. Test it with the Hour 1 method. But if Hour 1 fails, do not force it. Therefore, return it or move on. Now comment the most absurd fragrance price you have ever seen. The one that made you laugh. And comment one expensive fragrance you wish you could own. If enough people drop names, I will make part 2 where I match the most wanted expensive scents to the best clone options. And I warn you about the ones that are not worth it.